again, I see the signs. They surround me, reminding me of something familiar.
Hi everyone, I'm Jack Crawford, and it's time to review Song of Bloom by Philipp Stollenmayer. Philipp is an iOS developer and the creator of one of my all-time favorite iOS games, Zip Zap, which I highly recommend. This new game, Song of Bloom, is comprised of a bunch of loosely connected scenes, and you have to notice clues and use them to discover paths to new scenes. Different scenes have you doing completely different things, and the controls change completely from one scene to another. Pretty much every way you could think to control a video game on this platform is used at some point. Different scenes also have dramatically different visuals. It's absurd how many art styles are in this game, and how it transitions so seamlessly between them. It's extremely stylish and trippy, and the amount of work that must have gone into it is kind of insane. Maybe most remarkable of all is that despite how many things there are to interact with, the game feel is consistently great. Philipp also does a great job keeping things simple. There's never anything unnecessary on screen, which prevents it from devolving into the type of game where you're constantly tapping like a million things and shaking your device trying to make something happen. Here's one fantastic sequence from early on. You arrange the pieces of paper, you watch as they're turned into obstacles and the ball drops onto them, then all of that gets framed like it's being shown in a gallery. You may feel a slight connection to this thing you just, in a sense, created, then next thing you know, you're shredding it. It's a cultural reference used in a new context to play with your emotions in a hilarious way. It also ties back in with some overarching ideas about culture throughout the game. Also, that was such a creative transition between art styles and between gameplay moments. I wish there were more of those times where it feels like I'm riding this underlying current of ideas as opposed to jumping between disparate vignettes. The storytelling, like most aspects of this game, is pretty disorganized, which is fitting because the story is about schizophrenia. Or at least that's my reading of it. There are probably other ways to interpret the story, especially because it's presented non-linearly for the most part. Unfortunately, it's the design of the clues and the hint system that ended up holding this game back for me. There's a lot of meaning behind the structure of the tree that you keep coming back to, and it feels like it gives the player the perfect amount of information so that they can naturally figure out how to progress as they see more branches appearing. But I was robbed of that experience because, as far as I can tell, you can't reasonably expect a player to find some of these paths without looking at the hints. At one point, I had to sit and wait at a certain spot, and I don't think there was any reason for me to do that if I hadn't checked the hint. Another time, I had to arrange pieces of paper a particular way, which was very poorly communicated. Maybe it isn't even meant as a hint system exactly, but regardless, it takes away from the core appeal of noticing signs everywhere. When you're stuck, the best thing to do is usually to return to the tree and look at an out-of-context clue that's essentially the developer telling you what to do next. Also, I think it would have made sense for the signs to be a bit more obvious, especially considering I'm supposed to be in the mind of this character. Maybe red should have only been used for signs to make them stand out more. As it is, I often missed them, and since I felt like I needed to look at the hints anyway, I didn't end up identifying with this feeling of seeing signs everywhere that's so central to the narrative. Still, there's a whole lot to like about Song of Bloom. With relatively minimal writing, it touched on some interesting themes and left me with a lot to think about. And of course, it's very unique and stylish. I think it's worth playing just to appreciate the art and all the crazy scenes. It's only about an hour long, so give it a chance if you can. And I'm giving Song of Bloom a 6 out of 10. Let me know in the comments what you think of this one, and tell me what other new games I should review. Also, check out my other videos if you haven't already, and seriously play Zip Zap, it's amazing, and thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.